We have come to the point in our top 100 video game list where we're going to start seeing a lot of huge, venerable Nintendo franchises crop up, and right now it's Samus Aran's turn. We're talking about Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. This is number 28, and man, is this game ever kick-ass.
Yeah, this came out in 1994, and this, to this day, is one of those cartridges that I want to be buried with, because this is one of the reasons why I do the job that I do. I mean, this is one of the games that made me fall in love with video games. I mean, look at this thing. It looks crude again by today's standards. It's been almost 20 years since this game came out.
Yep.
But back in 1994, I mean, you think of all of the space experiences we'd had up to this point in video games, but no game had ever made us feel the poetic loneliness of outer space the way that Super Metroid did. I mean, as Samus Aran, playing this game, you're just traveling these intergalactic world, looking at the flora and the fauna, some of which is very deadly to you, and you're alone out there. I mean, there's nobody out there who's going to save you. It's just you versus these planets. It's you versus Ridley. It's you versus some of the most formidable enemies I'd ever seen in a video game before. I mean, some of these bosses are huge. They span several screens.
You know, and some of these little tiny bug-like infestations that you encounter are just so tenacious, and they take so many shots to kill, and they're so gooey and squishy, and you're right, you do feel constantly alone and freaked out in this game, you know, and it was a very effective...
It's like a haunted house. It turned planets into haunted houses.
A little bit, yeah, right? And it was also a game that really tasked your mapping ability, your internal ability to kind of remember if you had gone down this corridor or not, if you had done every single surface with your Morph Ball bomb. You know, you have got to look everywhere in this game, and you've got to go back and look again once you get a little bit more power up.
You got to be ready to be frustrated. This was a game that wasn't afraid to frustrate gamers, and that's something games are afraid to do now here in the year 2013.
Yeah, and there's certain games out there, and this is one of them, that create the language of video games. They set the tone with so many interactive connections that developers, from the minute they sit down and play something like this, they constantly refer back to, they constantly echo. Even the opening sequence of the ship falling apart and you've got to escape before it all explodes, I mean, that's exactly what the Call of Duty guys did with Modern Warfare. It was exactly the same game design right
You know, there was a version that was released of this game not too long ago on the Wii U. Let's take a look at that.
Super Metroid was at the tail end, and I was already starting to think of CD-ROMs and 32-bit and polygons and all that stuff. I was getting more excited about that. I think I bought this game, but I didn't really sink my teeth into it then. It's only through the re-releases. And so then I bought Super Metroid on the Wii and played it a little bit then, but now I'm playing it again on the Wii U on both screens, and holy, this is incredible. This is almost untouchable. It's so damn good, and it will always be fun.
You know what I love is as soon as you load it up, you get that one of
the best intros ever.
And you know what you get there? You get the entire atmosphere for the game. You could extrapolate it out just from those three musical notes.
Yes.
And that's what this game is all about. It's this creepy alien world. It's exploring these lonely space stations. It's coming across these extraterrestrial creatures that behave in strange ways, and you have to learn how to combat them. And I became really intrigued with the fiction of this game. I wasn't really a huge science fiction guy growing up. I liked my Ray Bradbury and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But all of these Brinstar and Norfair and all these different sections of the map that I would travel to, and I'd ride in the tubes. And the world, even though it's in 2 dimensions, really occupied 3 dimensions in my mind. So congratulations to Nintendo, to the vaunted Metroid franchise, to Samus Aran, wherever you are. I've still got some fan fiction that I'd like to deliver to you personally.
You love her, don't you?
And she's not a real person.
We all love her.
You're number 28 in our list of the 100 video games of all time.